Okay, rolling whenever you're ready.
Okay.
Okay, shall we start with an introduction of you, Mark?
Sounds great. Yeah. So my name is Mark. I'm the CEO of Platinum Fitness. I've been doing this since 2020 now, and we have 4 outlets, all in the central areas. Very happy. Got a lot of very positive customers. It makes the environment great. And yeah, that's me.
Awesome. Okay, so jumping straight into your interview, the first topic is about your pivot from banker to boss.
Yes.
So you spent 7 years in investment banking. What was the moment that made you decide to trade the corporate suit to start your own business?
Sure. Well, investment banking is a great learning curve, I think, for a lot of people. It adds a lot of skill sets that are really valuable. But I think at some point in my career, I felt that I wanted to do a little bit more with my time. I had great support from a key person in my life, who's my wife. She was in the industry, she had connections. I had an idea, I had a vision, and she gave me that opportunity to make that pivot. It wasn't immediate, but over time, we saw the value that this was creating, not just for our customers, but for the community as a whole as well. And we just decided to go full throttle with it in the end. Yeah.
Awesome. So spousal support,
Yes,
very important.
very important,
Yes,
yeah.
right. Okay, so opening a fitness gym or a center, was it always something you wanted to step into? Were there other ideas of other kind of businesses that you were thinking of besides fitness?
I mean, I was fortunate. I was working at a boutique investment bank as well. So we did work with a lot of different types of clients. I had the fortune of working with technology companies, consumer companies, very traditional, even waste management companies, all kinds of operators. But I think that gave me this initial scope to understand that achieving something a little bit more traditional, or some people might call it boring, to be actually quite interesting, quite attractive. From a financial perspective, I felt that this was a simple enough type of product to enter. But of course, competition is always quite fierce. There are lots of other industries that I feel are quite interesting to explore as well. But I feel that the consumer, especially the health and wellness industry, is so broad these days that having one foot in the door opens the opportunity to do other other types of businesses as well in the industry. So those are ideas for further down the line. But yes, we have some other ideas as well.
Okay. It's okay, don't worry. We'll pause. Sorry.
I'm so sorry.
It's okay. That's okay. That's okay.
Having a chat.
How are you? He's done one. He's done one at our other outlet as well. So
Yes.
I saw your video that,
yeah,
that
was it
came
you?
out as well. Huh?
Was not the same guys.
No. Yeah, he also did one at our other outlet as well with Matthew. All good?
Bye bye. Yeah.
Okay, catch up soon. Yeah.
Sorry for.
That's okay.
No problem at all.
Need me to redo that? I can also redo it.
Yes,
Yeah.
shall we redo that?
Yes.
Opening a gym or fitness center, was it always something you wanted to do? And
Yeah.
were there
I'll
other
shorten
kinds
it.
of businesses?
Okay, then when you talk, I'll try
Yeah.
to say with a smile.
Okay.
Because you started out quite, and
Yeah.
it's like slowly.
Sure. Yeah. Recollecting thoughts as well.
Yes,
Try
yes.
not to forget what the question was as well, right? Sure. Sounds good.
And
Yes.
Okay,
Can
yeah.
go.
Other businesses, I mean, I think that investment banking gives individuals a great broad skill set to look at different types of businesses with a different kind of eye. I did have very keen interest to open up a gym business. Looking at other industries, yes, there are other ideas that I would like to pursue as well, but the health and wellness industry is so broad that I feel that just entering this business alone has opened up a rabbit hole of things to explore as well. So we take things one step at a time, but for now, we're very happy running this business.
Was it also a personal thing? Did you enjoy going to the gym? That's why you wanted to open a fitness center?
Ironically, no. So this is a funny story that I tell everyone who works with us. I always encourage them to use our facilities while they're working with us, but it took me about 4 years before I started using my own gyms, which was quite odd, you know. I mean, I have been active in other realms of fitness, but not particularly in strength training. But these days, I'm usually here 2 to 3 times a week, yeah, doing the training. Yeah.
That's really interesting. I would have thought you were a gym buff. And
I know
always
it's a funny, it's
interesting.
a very ironic story behind
Okay.
that. Yeah.
Okay, so finance and fitness is quite worlds apart. What is one skill you brought over from investment banking that helped you launch Platinum Fitness?
Yeah, I think there are a few skill sets that are that are transferable in investment banking. But in any business, I believe that there are 4 main areas that any individual or any business needs to be equipped with strong skill sets in. So that would be marketing, operations, finance and strategy planning, and human resources. I believe that I was quite well equipped for the financial side of things. That incorporates various legal requirements as well. But the other 3 areas I felt that I needed to learn on the job. And those are things that people do not prepare you for, especially I think something quite general like finance and investment banking. You see other people do it, but applying it yourself is another thing altogether. So at some point, I learned to let go of those areas as well, even though I had to undertake a lot of those initial processes myself as well. And in due course, we found the right people to support the business in those areas that I was not good at.
Okay, so like marketing, ops, and HR.
Yes, I would say
Okay.
so. Very much so. Yeah. Yeah.
So interesting. Okay, what was the vision for Platinum Fitness? Was it something that you wanted to bridge the gap in Singapore's fitness scene?
Yeah, I think there were certain areas that we saw this business was doing differently back in 2020 compared to other operators. They were not as large. It has grown a lot since 2020, but I would say that our initial vision and ethics behind the business to run a very welcoming space, to run this 24/7 convenient gym that is also accessible not just at a price point, but in terms of location. These were very key ideas that we wanted to continue to pursue as we grew the business through the years. So that is a strategy that we're continuously trying to implement for the next few years as well. But I think that welcoming environment is something that was somewhat lacking back in 2020, 2019. I think the idea, the mentality of a gym business was one that was always quite rough or macho. So we wanted to soften that. We wanted to bridge the gap. And I think, us implementing softer tones, appealing to a different audience set was very important as part of the strategy. And we see that in our customers today as well. It's much more balanced between male and female customers, but all age groups as well, all age categories. That's very important for us.
Okay, when you talk about softening and kind of like making it more welcoming, can you give us some examples of
Yeah.
that?
So, for example, I think one thing is just the color tone of the space. I think that it's something that we don't necessarily look into the details when you set up a place, but when you build your home, you always are particular about the space that you want to walk into. You want it to feel warm. So that comes in the browns, the tones, the woody features that we have implemented. That's done at all outlets. More lighting within the space as well. So that's more of a fortunate circumstance of events as well. Having lots of windows that lets that natural light in, I think that gives a different sort of feel to the space. It makes it more enjoyable and relaxed. You're walking into a space where you can feel safe. And then, of course, then there's the other side, which is the people that make the business. I think their welcoming personas and their personalities is very important because that first line of engagement, that communication that is held between the front of house and the customers has to be what we represent. Has to be warm, has to be welcoming, it has to be understanding. And so those two in combination, really, it's very intangible, I would say, but that certainly over time brings the best out in what we would want to give to people as well as a welcoming environment.
Absolutely. When we walked in, we were like, wow. She was really friendly.
Yeah, Kyla's.
She said, do you want
Kyla's
to have a
great.
tour around? Okay, so moving on to part two is about battling the pandemic. So you took over the business around the time COVID hit. What was the toughest day for you?
So we took over the business in September of 2020. So the first lockdown was at the beginning of the year. So by that time, it was still unclear what was happening. Not just, of course, as an industry, but the whole of Singapore, right? The following year, we had 2 more lockdowns, and that was really tough for us. We thought that, okay, we had seen the worst of it, and when we had the second and third round of lockdowns, I think it was April and June 2021. That caught us by surprise because it felt like all the hard work that we had done the prior 8 to 10 months was sort of wiped out altogether. And this business is driven by, consumer sentiment as well, trust, and that is very hard to earn back if we suddenly have to shut down very quickly as well. Of course, we pivoted. We did a few other projects to try and supplement the business as we were locked down, but it was never filling the cup entirely, of course, from a financial perspective. But for us, and for me in particular, it was always important that we stayed alive long enough to trust the process as well. And we were fortunate as well that Singapore, the government did what they did in supporting businesses such as ours. Rental reliefs, support in salaries, that sort of thing. And I always look at, say, Hong Kong as a very clear comparable because their industry was much bigger than it was in Singapore before COVID. Mm-hmm. But I would say the last 5 years, that has reversed completely, and Singapore is now quite far ahead of Hong Kong in terms of the number of operators, the variety of products that there are on offer to the consumers. And I think that is just a testament of the government support as well coming out of COVID.
Yeah, the government really did a lot for a lot of people during COVID. Okay, post-pandemic, I think you spoke a bit when we first met about the shift in focus for consumers towards something that's more wellness. Could you talk more about that shift?
Yeah. So I think, of course, everyone was cooped up at home, so the natural transition of people coming back into into everyday life. One thing that was significantly missing was health and fitness, and our lifestyles, our eating habits, our consumption didn't change that much during those lockdowns, but so that potentially also resulted in negative side effects of how people came out of the pandemic as well. We were fortunate enough where one-to-one personal training was still permitted with safe distancing measures implemented. But that also meant that there was a bit of a hole to fill. So personal trainers suddenly saw huge amounts of inquiries, new business, people wanting to actually get back into the swing of things. And there were very few facilities that really had the capability to be able to support particularly the freelance personal trainer industry, and that's a segment that is a very important part of our business. So we were able to fill that gap quite quickly and support the trainers, support the customers who are looking to train as well. I think that was a very important pivot as well for us in that time.
Cool, okay. That's great. In just a few years, you've gone from the uncertainty of the pandemic to opening 4 gyms across Singapore. What was the biggest moment of pride you've had?
Honestly, I don't think I've had it yet. Honestly, I think that there's a lot more that can be done for our business and for our industry as a whole. I take a lot of perspective from what other markets are doing, how they are growing, and what kind of products are available to the customers. And I think Singapore is certainly catching up. But I still think that there are a lot of holes that need to be filled. There's a lot more unification that's required. I still feel that it is hyper competitive and maybe not so friendly amongst other business owners and peers. And I think that as an industry, we need to come together to achieve more greatness as well. And hopefully, I think that that is a day that I strive towards more than anything. And I feel that that would give me the most satisfaction, because that to me is an industry success. It is success for not just our business, but for every other business in the industry as well. So in the meantime, we will keep doing what we are doing well. And we will continue to grow the way that we have conservatively grown, I would say. A lot of people say 4 is a lot, but it's about being sustainable. It is about being secure. It is about making sure the customers feel that they have a place that they don't have to worry about their training, their memberships. And in the meantime, we hope that one day will come where a lot of operators are actually working together in this industry.
Awesome. Something to look forward to.
I hope so.
The best day is still ahead.
I hope so.
Yeah. Okay. So now we're moving to part 3 about your people and our Soda platform.
Sure.
So you mentioned that one welcoming factor is your staff. So what role does your team's well-being play in the success of Platinum Fitness?
To me, it's everything. Their welfare and how they are looked after is probably a bit more of a contradiction to maybe the financial sort of life that is lived, I would say. I think they are contrasting by nature, but I think that giving pride and showing care for the people that are working for the company is very important, because you're in a team collective here at the end of the day, and everyone that's there to support you, the business, deserves the support in exchange as well. We don't run sales KPIs. We don't run very hard and structured approaches to how we assess the staff. To me, it's as long as it's I guess this is the customer service aspect that we like to focus on as well. As long as they understand our ethics and our mindset and our goals, and that translates through the interactions as well, then I hope that our benefits that we can give to them can continuously amplify their engagements with the market as well.
Awesome. You sound like a wonderful boss. Should we pause for a while?
Sure.
Please select your card or enter your last number.
Okay, next
You
question.
don't look very happy. Yeah.
She's learning on the job.
Yeah.
Learning something different.
Correct. Yeah.
The next question I want to ask you is
Yeah.
about prior to
Soda.
Soda, you were
Yeah.
saying that you were handling your staff benefits and claims manually.
Yeah.
If you can talk a bit about that,
Sure.
and maybe like how many hours a week you take doing
Sure.
that, or
Sure.
even a month,
Sure.
and then compared to Soda now.
Sure. Okay. I will do that. Yeah.
Okay,
no
hang
worries.
on. Are we ready to roll? She's checking. All good. Okay, yes, let's roll with this. So before Soda, how did you handle your employee benefits, and what is the difference now with Soda?
Yeah, there are a lot of pain points to a business growing. So one of those was actually processing medical claims. A lot of it was very, very manual. We used Excel. My staff would send me the copies of their claims, and I would have to manually track that we were doing it on a quarterly basis at that point in time. It would take up a lot of my time, because that would be encompassed with payroll and other sort of claims that would be done in any given month. So I'd be working, I'll of course be collecting the data every week. So that would take only a few hours, but compiling it at the end of every month, that's adding to the time and the workload. So I'm looking at maybe another 5 hours of additional work that will be required for me to do at the end of the month, on top of making sure that all the other payroll factors would be accounted for as well. And and the Soda platform has definitely saved that time significantly. Now I only have to look at the end of the month and see who's gone and used the Doctor Anywhere platform, who's done their medical checks for what purposes. I see the invoices and I just need to settle it. And it makes things a lot simpler.
So how fast is it with Soda?
Oh, it's minutes now. We're talking minutes rather than hours. So it's significant difference, yeah.
Could you say like 5 minutes, 10 minutes?
Probably close to 5 minutes, honestly, rather than 10 minutes. It's very, very simple. It's consolidated. I can track everything on any particular day as well. But for me, when I consolidate all the claims and payroll at the end of the month, it's a one-click process. I see the invoice that's issued. I know I can check who's claimed for what. I trust the system, you know, and I can trust the process. It's transparent and it's clear, so that's very important to me.
So freedom from the spreadsheets
It's
and Excel sheets.
most
Have you deleted
spreadsheets are still there, but yes, there's a lot of freedom from certain things that would otherwise have to be very manual. Yeah.
I'm very, very glad. I mean, we are very glad that Soda has helped because that's what we are working for.
Yes, I'm glad.
Okay. Well, next question. Now that you use Soda, how has it changed your weekly administrative time? So you mentioned from hours.
Yes.
When you said 5 hours is a month.
Yes, I would say
At the end of the
I would
month.
say the end of the month. Yeah, and that definitely adds to it because I was doing it on a weekly basis before. Of course, our claims were sort of amounted on a quarterly basis. We issued credits on a quarterly basis, so that was manually tracked by myself. If it was exceeded, then we would have to, of course, come back, study, understand what happened. And once that sort of rolled into the next quarter, we'd have to do a bit of a reset as well in terms of credits that were issued. So there was a lot more manual sort of analysis that needed to be done. But I had to stay on top of a lot of things as well to make sure that the numbers were correct, that we were paying the correct amounts to the correct people as well. So yeah, that is now, these are items that I don't have to think about.
I understand. So it's not just 5 hours at the end of the month, it's cumulative,
Yes,
small amounts
There-
of tracking here and there.
Correct, yeah. There are definitely a lot of smaller checks that need to be done, and that those admin processes have disappeared.
Cool. Okay. So beyond the admin relief, what is the feedback from your team about using Soda?
Look, I think it's very positive to date. I think we've been on the platform for about 3 or 4 months now, and you know they've had a great, very smooth process of being able to access the services that are provided on Soda. So far, I think we're just looking forward to accessing more of the facilities in due course.
Come for health screenings at MedSuite.
That's right, yeah.
Okay, one final thought for other SME owners who are still bogged down by manual processes. Why should they streamline their HR and invest in their people's health through a platform like Soda?
Yeah, I think automation is a very important part of any business growing. Streamlining efficiencies is what buys you more time. And time is precious for any business owner or any business operator. We only have so much time in any given day to be able to do the things that we want to do. That is in the workplace, but you know, you have your personal time as well. You have your family, you have everything that you need to do at home, your personal life. And those precious hours that are saved just to do administrative tasks. And this goes back to sort of the 4 key areas, I think, of any given business. If you're able to make more efficient decisions with softwares, with automated solutions, you have more time to do things yourself as well. Yeah, and focus on other key areas, you know, business growth, your family. That's very important, I think, for any business owner.
Perfect. So elegantly put. Would you say how much you hate doing the admin spreadsheets?
It's a learning process for everyone. Again, I think I was maybe a bit more geared because of the investment banking background, so I didn't have to acclimatize as much, but it can be very tedious, and I can understand that it can probably take a lot of other people a lot longer to run that process as well.
Okay, I think we're done.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Melissa.
And